Hello, this is Josh Cook, Lord Avar. In another stream, people thought my name was something else, and I was laughing about it earlier today. Um, but that is my name. Uh, I am streaming some 2D 4X. This is just an open source game I'm creating. It takes place in North America. Wait, this isn't North America. This is just Oregon. Uh, Yeah, so these are our test provinces. Counties is what they're officially called, and we have this one selected, which is why it's that color. And we've been working through the research, and now we're working on like when the population works and when they don't work, and et cetera, et cetera. They're all idle. There was a bug a couple of streams ago that made me rethink basically a whole ton of things. A whole ton of things. um, so I've been rewriting just massive quantities of code, and I actually worked on this a little bit last night for like an hour or something because I wanted to rethink and really like get down what I was doing for today. And today, what I am doing is we are going to finish this switch right here. And I have very low expectations because I always end up uh, flapping my jaw, as they say, uh, and I get distracted. I gotta type. Let's see. Right now, I'm distracted. I gotta type hello in here just to make sure that this works. Sometimes it doesn't, and then I gotta push some buttons if it doesn't. So we're gonna finish this up. So last night I wrote this part. They scavenge is generating scavenged resources. The banker generates the scavenged resources. Their activity is updated, and we no longer use next activity because we don't care about the next activity anymore. We did because of some other stuff that we no longer do. So we is going to update the current activity to idle after they scavenge. This is not picking where they're working. This is the end of day stuff. So workday over for population. The workday's over. When? How's it going? It's been a long time. It's years. It's funny. Yesterday, someone in chat was like, "Wow, you have a lot of stuff on your list." So I have a list online. This project here, and I was looking for something, and I was scrolling through, and they were like, "Wow, you have a lot of stuff on there," and they're like, "When do you think you'll finish all those?" I was like, "I don't know, years," and they were like, "Years." Why only barely surviving? Someone was asking about you the other day too. They were like, "Where's Win been?" And I was like, "I don't know." um, so we no longer care about the next thing, and this happens before there's. So this happens at the end of the day, which happens before their assigned work. So this is going to actually happen before the first day where their assigned work. So everyone's idle at this point, which is what we'll get a bonus here. I changed around how it all did. So then after, if their activity is scavenge, they do that. If their activity is build, they do this complete construction, which just adds to the construction thing. But one of the things, so there's a lot of old code that was bad, and I'm rewriting all that. I guess I don't have it here. It's under county. I moved some of this pad code over here just as a reminder how not to do it. But what it was doing was it was going after, like, when a population was done working, it would like trigger um, the building to be done, and then it would go through everyone in this weird order, and it would do a bunch of stuff over and over and over again multiple times, and it wasn't necessary. So I've changed this just to be one thing when it adds it all together, and then I have some notes what we have to do other things. So basically every change is like has repercussions that echo out through all the other code. So this is part of the reason why, like, that one bug threw chaos into everything, was because each change that fixes the bugs no longer even exists, but it's, well, I hope the time was inaccurate. So this is going to cause everything, like each change has repercussions out through, so it's kind of a good thing. Summer vacation. Oh, you're in Europe. Yeah, I forgot. We don't get that here in the United States. They crack the whip on us. I asked my boss, because I am in control of the some admin IT stuff. I said, "What days do we have off for Christmas?" And she was just like, "Just Christmas Day. What do you mean?" It's like, okay, yeah, that's all we get. Um, so construction is completed. The next thing we got to do is produce resources based. I started like writing crazy notes in the code instead of. So I do also have this here, but I also like this thing. It needs to be added soon. But this I also started adding more like exactly what should be going there. Well, it's that is definitely true, and I think that the Thursday, Friday for after Christmas, nothing's gonna get done anyways. So well, I guess they have to pay us for that time if we're on vacation, so they might as well have and if it's a work paid work thing, and so that actually kind of goes into what we're doing here. This is not an economy like where people are getting paid in this game. This is where like your friends, it's like your group of survivors are working. And I think that that's part of like so we're going to have to add on to all of this when the economy changes. So there's going to be different types of economy that you can get later. Right now, all it is like the group of survivors are loyal to the leader and they're doing stuff, or not loyal to the leader, but they're doing stuff for the leader. They're not doing it for money and whatnot. So that's kind of well, hopefully, I hope we get there today to where we're put that into the code better than it used to be. The old way I didn't like. I liked it when I wrote it, but then I thought about it and I was like, no. So we got to produce resources based on the county improvement. So that's if this is each person has to do this. So that isn't going to be that terrible to write. This is population complete construction. We have our skill check thing. Have you been doing any coding yourself, Wind? I was just thinking about the other things that you've written, and I haven't seen your roguelike you were working on. I don't know why this is white. This should be green. Let's go over here, and then let's go back to here. Wherever this is. There we go. So this first, so let's write what we're going to do next. I think this is done. We complete construction. They're not going to be set to idle. It's going to happen. I'm going to put a note in here actually. If the building is done, they will be set to idle somewhere else. And because we're gonna actually keep track of who's working at each building, which is what we didn't do before, but I've mentioned in the past, like, I bet you we're gonna need to keep track of who's at each building. And it dawned on me there's no way the best way to get in it. There's other ways to do it, but they're all bad. So anyways, we gotta produce resources for the county improvement. And I think that's probably gonna be a banker. Like this, they generate the scavenge resource. So let's go to the banker over here and let's generate public int generate work resource with skill check. I probably can get rid of this with skill check thing, but I put it in there anyways. In skill level, we're also going to need to know the county improvement that is being constructed here, because it tells what resource they make and what they make. I played some game, I think it was last night. What game was that? But it was that battle sector game, that 40K battle sector game. They gave an achievement for like clicking in, like, I think it said, do you want to do a tutorial or not? And if you said no, you got an achievement. It could also have been if you click yes, you got an achievement, which I thought was funny. So we got to return an int here. So we'll just put this so that this, whoops, not an int. We got to put an amount equals 0, and then we'll just put amount here just to have this thing shut up so it stops complaining. So what we're going to do is we're going to need a skill data. And I wish this thing would not put the new skill data at the end, since that isn't required. We already have our amount, which is equal to 0, but we're going to get rid of that. We're going to go if skill data dot check. It's basically the same as the thing down below, except I had to. So there's a reason. Scavenging has a different bonus and a different daily amount, which is why this one. Originally I was going to try to make this one thing, but it didn't. And then I decided it could have other things too. So we got to check the skill level, and if it equals true. Whoops, those are not equal. True. Last night I regularly typed just one equal sign in there, and it was really annoying me. We're going to return the amount, of course. And we got to have this amount, though, is going to be, if it's true, we're basically going to have amounts to equal globals, instance. Do I have this already? Construction bonus, construction amount, scavenged amount. All right, so we need a new. Actually, this is different. This is county improvement data dot amount generated or something like that. Daily resource generation amount plus. Then we're gonna need a globals in here. Whoa. Instance daily resource generation bonus, which we don't have. I wonder if we should do it by building. We could do it by, yeah, let's do it by building. I'll have to type that into each building, but who cares? That's not a big deal. And I'm calling them buildings. They're not buildings, they're county improvement. No, it is a county improvement. Just certain ones generate stuff and certain ones don't. Which is going to be a problem that I didn't think about until just right now. We're gonna need. We're getting rid of this work script, by the way. Population daily research, check construction complete. We're gonna get rid of that. I thought I deleted that yesterday. I just want to write into the code that we need to change this. Build improvements. And at this point, I don't even know where this shit is because I've moved everything around. Check for work is where it is. See this big pile of dog shit? We're going to get rid of this. Check for idle, check for preferred work. So this is the problem. Some county improvements aren't jobs for normal people. They're only for heroes. So I guess I'll just put that right here. Let's put it actually inside this thing. It currently would just like stick them. Some county improvements aren't jobs that the normal population can work at. Is that true? Let's look at our research. Let's look at our current. We only have like 3 county improvements. In fact, we can look at them right here, and this will be good to test it. Fisher Shed, Guard. Okay, all 3 of these are. But if we go to our research, storage they can. In research, though, I don't think you can have 5 builders. I don't think research, though, for normal people can't work there. That's for your heroes. You can assign your hero to it. Or can you? Lord Mac, how's it going? You can assign your people to, yes, you should be able to assign your people to research. But would they work there? Like you're all starving to death and there's like 5 dudes working at their research. How many people can work at a research place? Let's look. We need to go to, not research office. Okay, so I just put 1 person can work there. That makes sense. And then you would expand the research office. All right, so that makes sense. I guess let's just not think about that. We'll just keep it out of our brains for now. So back to our switch. Not the banker. Yes, the banker. Okay, so then we're going to need this to also county improvement data daily resource bonus here. And then that will be the amount that goes through, but we also need, and actually we don't even need that other return amount. Well, we can put it up here. See, I'm still using the thing you told me about when. And then this is just going to be county improvement daily resource amount, and there's that. And then we can K and D this thing. And the one thing that I was like really thinking about last night, and then I decided just to not think about it, is this bonus originally was going to be a random amount between like 1 and 4 or 1 and 2 or something, like just a small random bonus. But now I've set it to like a set amount. And since I just added that variable to these buildings, we need to go in and add the buildings. It might all be the same. If it's all the same, we'll make it all the same. So this one doesn't even have, see, these are all set to 0. So let's do 5 and 2. Were these not here before? Or did I just forget to add shit to them? 5, 2. And we might adjust this. Yeah, it's probably better that these are on their own. A warehouse doesn't generate resources. What the fuck does a warehouse do? So a warehouse might be a building that people wouldn't. A max workers is 1. Oh, hey, Joker. How's it going? What is this emoji? It doesn't tell me when I hover over it. I wonder if it tells me over here. Is that a pencil? Is that a ruler? My eyesight is terrible. What's going on with my Twitch just shows spinning black screen, but I'm assuming you guys are there. So this is a building that wouldn't generate resources, but people should work there. So this is going to be a whole other thing. So there is an exception to this rule already. Oh, it's a Band-Aid. I don't remember what I was going to do with it. I think it was a warehouse is going to add more storage, but it doesn't generate resources. So it's special. So that is a good thing that we have one thing that doesn't apply to our rule here, because then we can prepare for it. And then what if there's nobody working there? We lose the storage? Yes, that is how it will work. So this will generate not a resource. We'll have to, what the fuck is this? We'll have to have a third thing. This is going to get so complicated. So I was thinking that while I was working on this last night, and for some reason, the complication makes it more fun for me to program. Like all of this garbage, I was thinking like, oh, that's going to be fun to fix it. Okay, so we need to put that in somewhere. We need to have like a case. Where the fuck is this thing? Check for work. No, that's not it. We want to go back to our county AI. No, our population AI. I'm going in circles here. It is the banker that's doing it. The county level. We're just below this stuff. Workday over for population. Here we go. The yes, the G spot. Produce resources based on county improvement. Produce other items based on county improvement. Improvement such as extra storage. So how the fuck is that going to work? So at the end of the day, the person's done working there, and generally how that works is you get something produced, but this actually needs to be at the start of the day. So at the start of the day when the person works there, they produce their thing, which is extra storage. So this is a whole new thing. What the hell is this thing? Oh man, I went through a bunch of my things the other day and just moved stuff around, and there were so many typos in there. I couldn't even believe it. This needs to be at the start of the day. And so then we can put this wherever that crap was. It's actually in here. It's just below all of these comments and stuff. It's way down here. It's in check for work. So basically the second they're assigned to the job, they need to do that job. So that's there's going to be then two different types. Research, and that will be very rare. Well, we'll do it that way, and then we'll see if that's just like an exception to the rule. But I don't think if they're done for the day, they're not going to produce storage for the next day. I guess they could have organized all day, and then the next day they have extra storage. But we'll figure that out as we get to it. So back to this thing, way up here. We're actually on the banker. So the banker is going to generate the work resources. Generate work resource with skill check. We got the county improvement. The amount is returned with the int. So then back to here, we're going to go. This one, it's adding it to the construction. This one, we need to add it to the correct county. We know the county, I think. Yeah, we do. Do we? I mean, this county is here, but do we actually, are we using this county at all? Yes, we are. This is passed in here. But what am I'm not doing anything with it. Oh, because I thought this was dumb. That's what that's okay. So we need to pass in what if warehouses? No, so that's going to be a different building. That's going to be like a trade thing. A trade depot or something like that. And that's going to be, well, I want that to be more automated. And I'm pretty sure I already have that on the list. That's farther down. The next building I want to put in produces like scouting equipment from remnants. Produces resources based on the county improvement. So we'll do work. This thing, well, we'll just put it here. The banker will generate work resources. This is the problem, though. We need this added on to the county resource that the thing does, which actually isn't that bad, except for that stupid to list thing. Maybe I should just get rid of those two lists. All it's doing is making me go insane. That was a storage thing, because then everything requires this two list bullshit. And if I just had one list, it would make life so much easier. Like, how fast can it go through a list? How fast does C# go through a dictionary? Should I be concerned? You are micro optimizing. Do you even have working code yet? No, I don't have working code. Um, cheese. Is there a famous cheese place in in um, in Europe? So Tillamook, which is in my game, is like the cheese place here in Oregon. This place, this is the cheese in Cheese Cheese County. Uh, it's the famous. It's where I get like my ice cream and stuff. Uh, that's probably why we were talking about it. So what was it? What was I? The cheese threw me off. Where was I? Where was I? What was I just talking about? Check resources, generate work resources with skill check. We need to know the county it's in, which is we do know this county is passed in, so we can go county. Oh, it's the two lists. I was micro optimizing. This person is saying, "What are you talking about? Who gives a shit?" How do you know the? Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of those two lists. I hate them, and they're just a constant pain in my ass. They're two dictionaries. That's going to implode our uh, storage, though. Our storage is going to blow up then. So let's go fix storage. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where like each change has these repercussions out through the code. And I already fixed last night. I fixed a couple of things where I was like, oh yeah, this sucks. I added encountering improvements. I added this list of who's going to work there. We haven't gotten to use it yet. Oh, and I also changed the status. I read somewhere, um, someone in one of these Stack Overflow things, someone said, if you if you're about to use a bool, but you think there could be three options, use an enum instead. And I was like, huh, I never thought of it that way. And I had two bools here controlling the status of what the county improvement was. And I was like, why don't I just change that into an enum? So here that is. And so, because it was this weird thing where you'd have to like flip one and then flip the other one. And then there was like a section where like, what happens if they're both flipped this way? And then what happens if they're both flipped this other way? Uh, so I just changed that into an enum. So yeah, let's go. I hate this list thing. So, or this dictionary being two dictionaries. So that is under county data. is that a work of beauty? Getting rid of the bools? I don't know. I don't know why I even fixated on whatever thing I was looking up on Stack Overflow. That was the part of it that I learned. I also looked up that thing the guy was talking about yesterday, the try instead of if, then returning a null. And I don't think try is right for the situation I was using, because I needed the null for later. If I wasn't needing the null, the try thing may have been a better solution, because then it would just be like, hey, try this, and then. But it said try kind of sucks. And the thing that was a Stack Overflow thing. You only want to use it for like file stuff. It seemed like, where things could change outside. But whatever. Don't go. Might not know what I'm talking about again. All right. So here's the two lists that I have. The two dictionaries. So let's just blow one of these away, and then we'll get a bunch of errors, and we'll just call this resources. And then we'll have half the errors because I renamed this way. Come on, errors. I guess I'll have to build it to get my errors. And we'll just have it go through and pull out the things. Yeah, so like this is copy and assign resources to these different lists. We don't really actually care. This is in county generation. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. What we need is this. And then we go set initial max storage. We're going to need that. We're going to have to go back over to our storage panel here. And I don't want to keep this stuff forever. I already have one thing I need to delete out of here. In fact, let's put this on my thing so I don't forget. Delete. Or I could just delete it right now. Let's just delete it right now. I can always recreate it. So under our population list thing, that we don't need this anymore. And I already tested it that it works without it. And then this doesn't need to be here anymore because we don't give a shit about the next stuff. And then we'll save that, and we'll save this. Here we have our storage HBox over here. Max amount label slash. Oh, that's a different thing. Let's go back to here. Hero list. We don't need that anymore open. I have a lot of the map editor. We don't even need open right now. I hope we haven't had to mess with that in a long time. Then back over to our storage thing. Did I call it resources? I did call it resources. So on here, this is going to get a little wonky. What we want to do is we basically just want to have it go through and just decide which is parish when it's creating this thing. So I think we actually should keep this, all of this like this. I was thinking we would delete one of these, but no, we're just going to have it figured out with some math. I hope. I remember struggling with that thing for quite a while with some bad math or something. So this is set initial max storage. This actually should not change. This one we give them all, we assign all of the resources to each faction, I believe. I hope that's where I'm thinking. Update resources, assign a copy of each resource. Oh yeah, no, sorry, to each county. So each county is now going to have a copy of the resources in a dictionary, in one dictionary, and then we're going to have it set initial max storage. It's going to go through each one of them. If it's perishable, see, it's already written as if there was one. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. This is a global because I don't know actually what amount of storage we want the player to start with. So we can fluctuate, and this is like 5,000 right now or something, and it's going to cut it in half, or it's 2,500 or something like that. So it does that. Update initial county storage. Okay, so this assigns it to that number that we're also. Yes, and this puts each one of these perishable or not. So for this, count faction resources of type. So this is part of, like, remember I was just saying that, man, this has been killing me. We would have to go through each one of those lists with this. We don't need to do that anymore. We just need to go through the one dictionary and count it of the type. Oh, you know, there was a thing with that try where it was like talking about you try a type. I need to look into that more. And then add resources to county. It's just going to go through the list. Oh, wait, did that last one say if perishable equals true? We don't, we just want to go add resource to county. Trying some level of storage to like amount of reclaimed housing helps with any, even with the programming. Would tying some level of storage to the, you know, I've been thinking about how the I want to. So one of the things I think is weird with Victoria 3 is that there's no housing in it. Um, you know, what used to do housing cool was Tropico, but Tropico doesn't is turned into a pile of dog shit. Um, but no, I don't not right now. I'm not gonna do any tying to that because it's like industrial level storage, not like house storage. Um, but I do want to do houses, and I want the houses to be part of the reason where you like. So your population doesn't have any reason to buy anything, if that makes sense. Even if you're just collecting stuff, like they don't have any reason to use anything. And one of the reasons, besides like eating food, one of the reasons is to improve their housing. So I want them to start out with like crappy housing that's, you know, post-apocalyptic. They're just living in some abandoned house, but they need to improve it, and they use remnants. I'm trying to stop calling things here. We should rename this to remnant. That's not how you spell that, is it? Remnant. It's two. No, that's spelled wrong. There we go. Remnants. Remnant. But with a capital R. Remnant? That doesn't seem right. Remnant, a small remaining quantity of something. A surviving trace. Remnants. Is that the word I decided on? Seems weird. I put it somewhere. Was it in my... It's also in ChatGPT. Let's see here. I got a lot of stuff in ChatGPT. Remnants. I don't know. Sometimes after I've looked at words for a long time, they just become gibberish. Like they no longer look like anything. But yeah, we want to stop using scrap. Okay, amount of scrap here. Check for scavenging scrap. This is under the population AI. And enough stored. Okay, so I have this twice. This is gonna go. It's gonna probably be moved up somewhere. You know, I also want to change vegetables to canned goods. At some point, we can just add a new one called canned goods for scavenging. I don't know how they went so wrong with the newer Tropicos. Like, I know that they were goofy in their original ones, but like, you know, goofy as in that was part of the built in. So this is going to just be resources now. And this is just going to be resources. But they went like really hardcore into the goofiness. And I think I already fixed that one. This is going to be all fucked up. This is going to be count faction, update top bar with county resources. Count faction resources. What does this do? It adds the food, adds the scrap, adds the building material. Remnant foods. Remnants. I think that should have an S at the end. But now I have two things that are the same. Remnant. Yeah, these are wood. These are whatchamacallit. Plural. Where's my faction ones? Faction resource type. Building food. This should also be remnants. There we go. Scrap and wood should be combined into building materials. Well, what the fuck is this then? Remnants, money, food. Okay, so there's some strange shit going down here too. We will fix that. So we must have had wood and whatever. Well, what happens if we just get rid of this? What happens then? Well, get rid of it. I'm waiting for more bugs, but I guess they're not going to show up. So what is this? Count faction resources, building materials. Oh, we already have that. So what was I doing here? I was doing scrap for factions. Like I said, every change makes things just explode out into more and more things. So I was counting food. What are we? Okay, so this is for the count faction resources. There should be, I think I just fucked something up here. Food, can I look at this thing? What is this? All enums. What did my old all enums look like? Now, before I renamed it, man. Okay, it was scrap, and it was scrap. Money, influence, food, building materials. Okay, I disagree with myself from the past. Past self, I think you're wrong. Okay, well, this is what we should do. We gotta close one of these things. This should have remnants. Because there's actually a reason to have remnants. Remnants are different. They're used for all sorts of shit besides just building materials. So there should be building materials, remnants, and food. I feel like, are these really the only things we have up here? But then we should also rename this while we're here. We're just gonna fix everything that I've been slightly. So now I kind of understand when I'm streaming a video game, an indie game in my other channel, and I'm finding all these weird things. It's really easy to kick the can down the road and be like, oh, I'll just fix that later, but you're never gonna get to later. And then you hit the later and you're working on something else, and so then you're always going to be like, I'll just do that later, because it also, like, if you change things, it makes everything else change. And I can totally see why sometimes you run into weird bugs like that. But so I'm just going to try to fix things as I go, like immediately. So back to, and I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I definitely thought it. Where did that list go? Keep going up here. So for this switch, I was like, I don't think we're going to get through this switch. Just these three things, these final things, because there's so many things. Yeah, that's the problem, is that if you don't fix the entanglement too, like as you notice it, well, or make it worse, you got to do one or the other. Pastrick, how's it going? I usually try to keep my tabs just to 2 rows. Like, I got too many here. We don't need select, whatever. County info control. We may need that, actually. We don't need the battle control. There we go. I try to keep it to 2 rows. So now let's go back to what I was doing. We were changing scrap. We got rid of that list. It says that there's no errors, but I bet you there are. Let's go to this guy. Now I fixed that one. This one's probably fixed then. What about you? Fixed as in scrap before scavenging. Before scavenge. What is going on over here? I must have been hitting something else. This is called remnants. 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 Why can't I remember how to spell that? Once I've typed it 45 times. Remnants. Remnants. Come on. Remnants. Okay, it was spelled right. before scavenge. There we go. What's next? Um, oh, these are all going to be changed anyways. Back to here. I guess so. I noticed that I pronounce things strangely compared to most of the rest of the world. I was wondering if it's because I grew up in Southern California and everyone has like a lackadaisical way of pronouncing things, vocal fry and all that. Valley girl, as I call it. So let's go back to here. What were we doing? We were changing that thing to one list. We did food before scavenge. No, that's fine. We can now go back to our one thing. We got rid of the, oh no, we're not done. We're not done here. We got more. Let's actually just build this again and see what we got left. There we go. We got less. Non-perishable resources. So what is this one? Assign resources to storage box. Storage H box. So for each thing in county resources. All right, so this is what we gotta do here. This is counting. So this we need to go to here. And this needs to go to here. And this needs to go if key value pair dot is, no, what is this thing? This is the type. Value, I think, is what we want here. Is perishable? No. Perishable. It's not is perishable, it's just straight perishable. And then this needs to go up to here. Wrong key. And then we need an else here. And then this needs to go up here. So I think I forgot. I think when I just deleted some of this, one of these is not going to work. So this is going to go through this list or the dictionary. It's going to go through the dictionary, and this is weird. And if the value is perishable, it's going to add it to the perishable one, which is up here, this one. And this isn't instantiating this crap. No, it's just counting assign resources to storage H boxes. I think that's what we got to do here. And then we just took everything out of here. This can go. And then let's go to this next thing. Update resource labels. Update each type of resource. This can go because we don't have that, but I think we're going to have some other issue down here. What is this doing? This sets if it's perishable or not. What the fuck is this doing? Where is this? Resource panel container. Oh, this is the spin box. I think I'm going to need to test this. What is this? So this is going to set if it's perishable. Does it say that over here? I mean, it says it here, but it doesn't say it in the actual thing. Resource name, the amount, the max amount. I'm going to just get rid of this. That's just, I don't know what that is. This is going to be confusing. If perishable, yeah, we're gonna have to test this thoroughly here. And then what is this? Update max amount labels. So this was count storage amounts. So I think the count storage amounts needs to change. So count storage amounts is passing in the max storage, which is the non-perishable storage. This is resource. No, this is the same spot. This is but this was a pain to do before, so it's gonna be a pain to do now. But I can't stand those two. Probably like next week I'll have to change. I'll have to change those back to being two lists. But right now I hate it so much. Count. The counting part is fine. It's what it's doing. There's only one list now. And so I think what we need to do is in this, in here, I don't actually think we needed this to run twice anymore, because we're going to bust this into two things. Count storage amounts. So I got to change my music here. Yeah, it's weird. On my Twitch side says it's like dead of the stream, which is weird. Oh wait, that's weird too. Now I guess it's just, yeah. So what is this doing? This is counting those. Max perishable, max non-perishable label. Okay, so we need to have some sort of differentiator in here where we count storage amounts by like a bool or something. And then up here we can say true, and then down here we say false, and then in here we say if resource dot perishable equals to perishable, count it. Is this really that? I think that, you know, Joker, he's the one day who was like, why don't you just do it equals this instead of have like a bool that it's checking whatever equals true or false. So if it's gonna go through, and if it equals true or false, oh no, that's not gonna work. If this is perishable, no, that is gonna work. If it might not work, but I think that will work. Available start, yeah, that part of it I think will work. All right, so that build actually worked. Is everything saved? Let's just do it, because I've been jumping all over here. Let's save all there, and then let's rerun it. And ah, shit, I gotta close this resource thing first. You know, that weird bug I was having has gone away. Or at least I haven't seen it. I didn't see it yesterday or Wednesday, and I think it was it's the unsubscribing from events. All right, so let's see what our resources do. We got some strange numbers here, and we got a bug. So let's go figure out what's going on here. Update each type of resource. So we're going through this. Why are we doing this though? Update each type. Update resource labels. And I deleted one of these. What does the output down here say? Oh, time's flying by here. I didn't pause it. Let's get rid of this thing. We don't need this. Hours. Here we go. There we go. Let's run this again and look. Obviously something's going wrong. I wonder if I accidentally deleted like a variable over here. And I had a feeling the minute we started messing with this, because this, like I said, was kind of a pain to do. It was more than kind of a pain. So let's go to here. And what does this actual error say? I guess we'll copy this. Index outside the boundaries of the array. So it's kind of interesting that I'm doing a for each loop here. That's what I'm gonna call you. Thank you for the follow. Or yet, the your name sounds kind of like different word. If so, I wonder why I did this. Why I didn't do a for loop. What is this thing doing? It's count. So this equals 0. It starts out as 0. It's going this perishable. This is signing this H box. It's signing this to 0. Blah 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 blah. It's assigning this storage H box to here if it's perishable. If it's not, the thing that's weird. I wonder why I didn't do just a for loop, because that would keep track of the eyes. Storage H box. I can't remember what this was. What are we doing in this update resource? This is kind of convoluted. And I'm betting it's probably croaked out over here, but I'm betting there's two different parents for where these things are sitting. And that's part of the problem. Max perishable, I know those are the top things. We want to, like down here. It's the same. It's the same. There's also another way we can do this. I wonder if I'm like skipping and stuff. There's a better way we could do this. I guess deleting them would not be as easy. There's actually a bunch of different ways to do this. Didn't I do this like 3 months ago? And it's not that old of code. So I don't know why I did it with this eye up here, and I can vaguely remember like there was a reason for this, but this would have let's look at this. Let's compare this to my old code. Resource container. Let's look at you. Like, what did I just delete? Maybe I just went too hardcore. Um, the else. So I changed that to resource, and then for each of these, non-perishable and perishable, for each one of these in county resources, if it's perishable, add it to here, and then add up the perishable button, else put it in. Where exactly is this error happening? It's happening here, though. It's like this thing doesn't exist yet, or where is this thing? This is an array of storage H boxes. Storage H boxes. I cannot remember why this is this bizarro way. Oh, shit, it's already been an hour. Like I said, I do remember this being a pain in the ass. I think. What does storage H box look like here? Storage. It's going to be under UI stuff. HBox. So we have a resource data in there, which is what it's supposed to be assigned to. We have a storage HBox index. I feel like this, let's go back to this other code. Oh, we already had it open. This is panel container. Where was this thing? Here, let me just jump to it. This should be resource data. Now it's letting me put, well, oh wait, did I have a special one in this storage H box as well? Did I have perishable? I have perishable in here too? Where would I be? Why? Oh, okay, so I'm using something in here. Why did I do it this way? Um, I don't really want to rewrite this whole thing, but I guess that's what's going to happen. We're going to, so this is, I'm setting this thing has a perishable thing on it. This resource, but for some reason it doesn't, it's beyond the index. So there's, this I is no longer connecting here, and it probably is happening the first time, I bet you. What is this thing called? Update each type of resource. And I'm just going to put the I at the end. I bet you this thing croaks right at the beginning, because what it's probably doing is it's not assigning the shit to the right place way ahead of this. So it's hitting this error, but it's the problems earlier. This is earlier. And update each type of resource 0, 1, 2, and then we get to 3. Okay, my theory was wrong. Probably it is happening here. This is not, we're not getting the right number of resources assigned. Like it's still assigning them to like some other weird thing now that's just lost in the ether. So I'm gonna take a quick break, which is good timing because this music I'm listening to that you guys can't hear is terrible. I don't know what it is, but it's bad. And I'm gonna set up my music for next time, I'll listen to some Wolf Parade. It's like the generic music that you can't go wrong with. Here we go. We're going to set this up, and I'll hit play, and then I'm going to pause this. I know you guys can't hear any of this stuff. And then I'm going to put on my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. And I was thinking about something. I think we need to update an array somewhere too. So I think that's one thing that I have missed with this change to this list is we have to go up to here, and we have to go to here, and is this all of the resources? I think we have to so we're just going to go from the top of how this works and make sure it's all set up right. I think 4. This one's still called scrap, so let's rename that while we're here. Resources. We want our other resources. Close all these down. Let's rename this remnants. Remnants. And let's go back to make sure I spelled that. Remnants. Remnants. There's no I in there. Remnants. 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 Okay. And then in this guy, we got to rename this to remnants. And it remembered all that stuff. Let's double check that these are right while I'm here. And we actually need a new one of these while I'm here as well called canned goods. So let's fix that while we're here as well. I mean, we're just going to fix everything as we go. What is this? A resource data. And this one's going to be called canned food with a space in it, just to make life more interesting. And this is going to be called canned food. And its resource type doesn't exist yet, so we're going to add that into our enums. It's going to be right at the top, so that's a bummer, because that's going to throw off all of our other ones, but we're aware of that, so let's build this. We're just going to go back through the top. We'll fix all this crap. Canned food, your fish, your remnants, your vegetable, and you are a wood. Okay, so now we have an additional thing here. We need to go back to all of our resources. We need to add this in, and we need to put these are all wrong now. Let's just delete them all. We'll add in an element, canned food. We also need to change this though. I guess I can click it. Well, no, it's off, so that's good. Fish is perishable, remnants are not. And remember, like a while ago, wood's perishable? No, I'm on vegetables still. A while ago, I said having a third one of these is going to fuck things up. So, well, it could. I wasn't sure. It could mess up the counts and the adding and stuff. So we might as well fix this and make it more reliable anyways. Back to our resources. Let's add our 5 elements. Fish, remnants, vegetables, wood, save. Look at all these little debug things. We'll do a build just to see what we get. I should have cleared these. We'll just restart here. We're just going to wait for an explosion. And then we need to go through like the county generation code. And I think I saw that it was open somewhere. Or maybe I just closed it. There it is. So we need to assign faction data to county data. That's set. Generate our buildings. That's easy. Assign county data to faction. Okay. Subscribe to the hero list. Update resources. So under update resources, assign a copy of each resource to each county. So this is going to go through this array where we have all of our resources, and let's make sure that this is correct. Copy, so it's going to go for each resource and resources, which is this array we're passing in. We're going to assign the resource key is going to be the county resource type, and then the county resource key will be the resource that we brought in, and we're going to duplicate it. Then we're going to set this initial storage. Are we doing this per county? Yeah, so we're still here. Set initial max storage is we're going to have the county is passed in, the county data, and so we had 2 of these before, and now we only have 1. So we're going to have the county data resource is the dictionary we're passing in. Let's just make sure that that is correct because I did rename that. Yep, that looks correct to me. County generation. And then for this is where it was, I changed this. I'm going to put a GD print in here. County name. I don't want the key. I want the value resource name. I just want this to fill to make sure that this is right. If the resource is perishable, what should have, we already have that set. Resource max amount equals the global instance starting perishable storage divided by resource count. Okay, so this is gonna take, yeah, so this should be right. I guess we have this other, we don't need this GD print, it's up here, or it's down here. All right, so that looks correct to me. Doesn't mean it is. Update, and this is just a thing that copies over. It just sets every county to the same of 5,000 or 50,000, whatever we put in there. All right, so that is set up initial county storage. So I think this is where something could have gone wrong here. No, that looks right. We're doing a cast, that kind of went away on its own. Oh, it's because we're getting it from yeah, we're doing a for each there. We could put an event in and just have it for the event. The counties subscribe to the events, but that's fine. That looks right to me. So that's county generation. We haven't gotten an error here, but I bet you we do. I don't think we fixed that issue. We've now made it more consistent. And I bet you this is in a different spot. Assign resources to storage HBox. To storage HBox is. So where are these? So this is non-perishable resource storage HBox. That's in. So I have these two. Let me look at how I did this, because there's another way we can do this that I found. You can add a sibling. Are we on local? Yeah. Instead of adding a child. A storage HBox, though, is this thing. It has like the spin box and things. Where was this thing? Assign resources. Is that where this bug was? And it was when it gets to here is where the problem is. Probably, what are you blinking about here? Probably because as it goes through this list, it's assigning the value. Where are we generating these things? Where are these things coming from? Perishable resource storage HBox. They're right here. It's like where is this script? What is the name of this script? Resource panel container. Oh, did I manually make these things? I thought I was instantiating these things. Oh, I did manually make these. Okay. I thought I was instantiating these. And so we're missing one because I just created one. So I don't know if I think now I'm thinking I probably want to instantiate these things. Like, why am I manually putting these in here? You know why it probably was? Because I didn't know you could add sibling at the time, and this was a pain in the ass. But there's an easy way to do this where you just add a sibling. The problem with that, I guess, is we'd want to only do it on the first run. We wouldn't want to do it like on our county generation. We would want to generate these, and we can just add the siblings on here, and then this problem would never happen again. Because I already forgot that I did this manually. I assumed I was instantiating this. So let's go to county generation and update resources, update scavengeable resources, copy and assign resources. Oh, was I also like, did I manually drag in what these things were? Oh no, the resource data is getting assigned to them. I think that's what's failing is this part right here. Where are we going through these resources? For each resource in this, assign this to here and duplicate the resource and put it in here. Why don't we just instantiate them right now? And then we, like, why don't we do it right here? Copy and assign resources. Copy and assign resources. Oh, we don't want to do it for each county, though. We want to do it one time. And we want it, so at the beginning, maybe that's why I did it this way, is because but it makes me have to remember to add another thing in here or dig through all this code. So we update the resources to every county, and then we update the initial county storage. Was that what this is dying on? Assign resources to storage H boxes. Where is this under? Resource county. And this is on ready? No, we don't have anything on ready. We'll just create a thing here. Generate storage H, what are these fucking things called? Storage H boxes. And we'll just have this run on ready, and we'll have it generate them instead of instead of me manually putting them in there. There's probably a reason I did the manual thing, but it's kind of dumb. We only need it to happen once too, and then this would happen later, I assume. This is private. When is this ever even running? What is this? Is this like, what is this thing? Oh, this happens when I left click. It assigns let's put a note on here. This assigns the county's resources to the storage H boxes. How is this getting hit though if this is a private? We must have something else that's linked to here. See, it's garbage. You know what we could do instead is we could do a new thing and have it hit here. This assigns the county's resources. The county's resource is to the storage H boxes when no, it probably happens when it's on visibility. Yep, there it is. When this becomes visible. So we got to generate these though at the beginning. And so we're going to go for each resource in Oh, these are an array too, which isn't very good for what we want to do right here. So for each one of these in all resources, no, not all resources dot instance dot all resources. And so we'll just have it go through that array up there. And this is farther down the list, so I hope it's fine. And then we're going to need in here, I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. We do want these two different ones. Yeah, I think we do. But they're going to be a list. We're going to need an export, a private, packed scene, storage, hbox, packed scene, and then we'll go to here, and then we'll say storage, storage, hbox equals storage. Well, we need another storage hbox here. And then we're going to need, nope, we're going to need storage hbox packed scene dot instantiate. And then in here, we could just go like name equals resource dot name, and I mean, do we need anything else? We do. So these storage hbox have shit assigned to them. Then we go storage hbox resource data equals resource, and this is resource data is what this should be. Data. I guess I could have whatever. Okay, it let me do this without. Yeah, it didn't bug out on that. So this is going to do all of assign this. It's going to assign the resource data. I mean storage hbox. There's that stupid perishable thing equals perishable. I don't know why I'm assigning that stuff later. And then we need to add this to the thing, the actual thing. Do we have a parent in here? I'm not sure why I have these two different arrays here. Why are there different arrays? Oh, I know why they're different arrays. It's because, so I have these different arrays because I was manually putting them there, so it was easier to, so they knew which thing they were getting in that little group. Assign resources to storage hbox. So what we're doing up here is actually going to take care of this thing. Because we're going to generate it. But we're going to need two different parents on here too. So we're going to need this. We're going to need export. We can do an export group here. Just to make life a little easier to storage hboxes. A little easier to see this stuff. Group storage labels. There we go. And then this is going to be private. It's not going to be a parent though, even though we could put it as an apparent and then we could skip the mount, but we will just do private. The fuck are those things? These are labels. Perishable label sibling. We didn't put what this was. This needs to be a label. And then we're going to do export. I don't know why. So I was working on I was fucking around with another game and I was just like, can you just add a sibling? And I looked and you could. And I was like, why haven't I tried that before? Non-perishable. I got a typo up there. Perishable label sibling. Perishable. Okay, and then we have that. What is this stuff? I don't think we're actually going to need this anymore. I mean, I guess we could. But it can't be an array now. It has to be a list. I mean, it could be an array, I guess. But you're not supposed to, like, fuck with the arrays. Like, be taking things in and out of them, I guess, from what I've read. So then we will go perishable, or if storage. Sometimes I think I code stuff and I make it a certain way because I'm being lazy. And I'm like, oh, this will just be easiest for right now. And then it turns out it's not the easiest way to do it. And then we'll it works for then, but then later it's not going to work. We'll add a sibling here if this is okay. All right. What else is in this storage H box? These are already dragged and dropped over. Max amount spin box. These are all in this index. I wonder why I was putting an index in there, because now this is going to throw off the index. I must have been like, when you click on it, it must pass in the index, but you don't click on it. You can change the things, the storage amounts, but you're not actually clicking on it. So for this, the problem, this is where, like, is that what we're doing down here? Is like putting some index? Where are we applying this index? Where are we fucking with this index? Like, why does this exist? Okay, for update each type of resource. Okay, so we are assigning an index there. But it doesn't seem like we do anything with it. Because so this would be inside. What do I get out of here? Search term. Get out of here. Huh. I don't think we're doing anything with that. So the idea behind that was that we could put in what the storage page box's index inside of the thing, inside of like an array or list or something. At least that's what I think. It thinks like that. I think that's what I would do. I'm going to comment this out. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it how it is. I'm going to put a note on it. I don't think we are using this. And then where was that other one? I'm going to put, I don't think we are using this. Okay. Back to here. Missing that. Oh, I don't want this here. I was like, what's going on? So this should generate a resource for each one. I added siblings. We got to build it and drag and drop this crap in here that I changed around. We got to put in a thing and a thing. So we have these now. We need a packed scene, which I have somewhere. It's right here. Where are you? Did I put you in prefabs? Storage. HBox is under UI. UI scenes. Oh, right. I forgot I had these separated. So this, because I have a lot of these, storage HBox is going to go in here. And then this sibling is going to be here. And this is going to go here. And like I said, I don't think that we're going to need this. This is just some drag and drop shit. And that's why we were getting that other error, but I don't think we're going to need that. We're going to, or if we do, we'll make them a list. So we can add them in right there. Name is empty. Native call condition name is empty is true. The fuck are you talking about? Resource panel container line 38. That's probably where I'm setting the name of the actual thing. Yeah. So this should be instantiating that. What I wanted to do is change the name of the... Oh, is it thinking the resource name is empty? That's quite possible. Resource name. We're pulling it from that list, and maybe this is happening too soon. Maybe it's happening too soon here. Okay, let's see what this does. We're going to fix all those messages too. Time flies when you're refactoring code. Sometimes it's a mess, but I think, like I said, I think everything's coming out. Yeah, the problem is there's no name in there, it thinks. So where is this happening? This is happening here, and for some reason that's happening faster than up here. This is happening... Resource name is all blank right there. And that's right before it croaks. Let me double check that. Yeah, so this resource data and all resources, I guess this hasn't, the instance is still there. I think I can put a question mark right there, and I can go like this. Oh, no problem, Lord Mac. People got lives. It's weird. Lives and things, and you have a cat. You know, sometimes your cat is very demanding. My cat's just laying there. I said the word cat, though. All right, so this isn't... That's also, I know that feeling, too. So these aren't... Oh, you know what the problem is? It's not this. It's not resource name. Resource name is something else. It's this. The capital R is the name of the resource, built-in name of the resource. Let's just rename this to just name. I don't like that, but it will solve the problem. Low maintenance. My cat is so high maintenance, man. Yeah, I can't even walk through my house. I wish it would just be nice. That's what I wish. Okay, that didn't solve the problem. Um, did I do that resource data? When I type somewhere earlier, did I type in resource or did I type in resource data? I want this thing and I want that thing. Oh, I just renamed that. I wonder if these are empty now. I mean, I don't have to change the name of the H box. I just figured that would be a nice touch for if you're looking at the. Oh, it did. It did fuck this all up. Canned food. It's not. It's kind of interesting that they. I wonder if they're using that try thing. Whoop! This is not canned food. This is fish. I'm pretty sure my cat has abandoned every other home that it goes to, pretty much except for my house, and which makes me feel sad that I put it outside at night. It used to like go outside at night and run over to someone else's house. I believe it's an old lady's house because he would come back smelling like old lady. And now I don't think he does that. I think he just hangs out like around the yard and stuff. Um, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, wait, there's a problem here. The problem is that we have these old ones. Where are you? These old ones are sitting in here. And so that's probably a thing. And we're probably getting this bug because they're checking that array somewhere. And we don't want, those arrays are broken now. 5 is correct, though. This is the right amount of things to see. So we're on the right path here. Like old lady perfumes. Like I assume because I'm a smoker, the cat smells like smoke. Like I don't smoke inside or anything, but he hangs out with a smoker and he doesn't ever like sit on my lap or anything. But I pet him, and so I think the like old lady perfume, uh, like just she just sprays him down. But I don't think he does that very much anymore. So we don't need to assign. We don't need to do this anymore. Is this where it was croaking? Yeah, it's croaking here. We don't need to assign these anymore. They're getting assigned right here. And they're being put in the different spots. So we don't need this. What else are we doing here? Oh, wait, we do need to do this. But we don't need to do it this way. What we can do instead. Do we have a dictionary of these things, or what are these things? That's possible. I bought my house from an old lady, and I didn't feel bad about it until I noticed that she hadn't been able to pay her property tax for a couple of years. Because when I bought it, the story was that she wanted to live closer to her brother, and that's why she was selling her house. And then when I saw that she wasn't able to pay her property taxes for a few years, she paid it with the sale of the house. It made me think that she probably wasn't it wasn't by choice to move closer to her brother, is that she couldn't pay her property tax, so she knew how she had to move, so she just sold her house. Um, oh, I'm surprised. I would be surprised if it wasn't. I saw some meme. I don't know. It wasn't a meme. It was just like a Reddit post where it was like generation older millennials love going to the supermarket because the music's so good there. And it's like, yeah, I think we've passed into the thing. So I guess we will add this to a list. We'll get rid of this, and we'll make this a list. And we'll make this go away. And we'll go list. And we'll go research hbox list equals new. What is your problem over here? Oh, yeah, this should be like that. And this should now be a bracket. A bracket. Hey, Bumblebite, how's it going? Some threading. Oh, yeah, you were working on the multi-threading. Peak earn are they that finally at the peak earning years? So I was thinking, this shouldn't be a list actually. This should be a dictionary because we can do this much easier with a dictionary. Godot collection. I'm going back into like just doing tons of dictionaries, which is strange because when I first started programming, everything was a dictionary list, and now it's not a dictionary list. So like every county would have been a dictionary list where the county name was the thing for the dictionary. This is going to be all enums county resource type, comma, and then the dictionary will be hbox, storage hbox. And then this can't be, what is this? Then we can just do new in here. And then it says I can turn this into something else. I can't see that. Oh, I can do that with a Godot one too, huh? Yeah, it's crazy how much time flies. how old you get. So what we're doing through with this is we're going through each one of these, but we don't need to do that anymore. What we need to do instead, this is a list? No, that's fine. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go through, we can do this just differently. We don't think we need this anymore either. All right, so for each key pair in county resources, we need to assign, we need to go like, what is this thing? What did I just call this thing? Resource storage hbox, resource storage hbox list. This is going to be a bracket. We're going to need to go key value pair dot key. Is this a dictionary? It is. We can just use the key, and we can, because we keyed it by the same thing, and then we can go resource data equals that. And let's go back up here though. This I think can go away. We don't need that. This I think actually needs to, I guess we'll leave that there, but I think we need a copy of this down to here. And this actually needs to be here. And then this is going to be key value pair. I don't know why we're storing this perishable thing also here, though. It seems strange to have it on this and in the resource data. Oh, wait, no, this would be assigning the resource data. This would be here. This would go like that, which I think is strange that we would do it that way. This is strange. And so I'm going to look at chat. Adult diaper punk. um, yeah, I definitely punk is an older thing now. This lady, her house isn't in squalor or anything. Um, I just think she had some like once a week Sunday school job, like where she taught Sunday school once a week, and so she bought the house for $5 or something. Um, so the taxes just keep going up though, and it actually made me rethink property tax too. So I was pro property tax before, and I still am to a point, like because it pays for important stuff. But I think that they're like, if that's the one thing that's making an old person move out of their house, then there should be some other ways to, 'cause she was like 70. Um, there should be some way to subsidize them to still live here, and if she really did want to move in with her brother, which like I said could have been possible, but it didn't seem like it was, then she sells the house and the property tax goes to whatever, it goes out of the sell price or whatever. uh, I clicked on something that I wish I hadn't clicked on. Where is the thing that I'm actually working on here? Okay, that is strange, and this is strange. Well, it's not a giant house. It's a little house. That's the first thing people say is, "Wow, your house is small." Actually, that's the second thing they say. They always say, "Your house is very cute," and they look confused because they know me and they're like, "Seems weird he would live in a cute house." Um, But yes, no, but I agree with what you're saying. Like why is this one old person taking up all this space? Yeah, there's definitely a thing for that, but I don't, moving them into an old person home might not be the solution unless they're two, they can't handle it themselves. That's the thing is it's raising the taxes. Your property taxes goes up every year. It's based on the value of the land. And so, like, since I bought mine, it just goes. There's nothing you can do about it. And I think there, in some states, how it works is it only goes up every time you sell the property. They like reevaluate. But in Oregon, it just goes up like whatever set amount. Um, so what the problem with it only happens when you sell is people always try to like slide around how they sell the house so that their property tax doesn't go up. And also, you could be caught in some strange circumstances. So okay, this is now set. We don't need that thing where this is just set now, and I think we can do that a couple other times. So we had this broken into two things here. Non-parable. Oh, and these still do need to be broken into two things. But this is broken because it wants an array of these, and we need to give it one of these. We need to give it this big long thing. I should make that a variable so I don't have to do this. Oh, does this array still exist somewhere? Wonder why it's not upset about this thing. So this one Update spin box max value. If perishable. No, what does this thing want? Perishable resource storage box. Oh, we're passing in this list here. Okay, all right. These are all... Okay, this whole thing's all fucked up. Well, so that it definitely should be, like I was saying for the old lady, it should be based on her income or whatever. And how much? Because she probably could have. I went on like an OK Cupid date or like a Tinder date, and the person that I went on a date with was extremely against property tax, and I never really thought about it very deeply. And they just went on this diatribe. She was just like, I'd rather die than pay property tax. Uh, and that's what made me think. And then, knowing that the old lady couldn't pay her property tax. Assign resources to storage HBox. Update maximum. Set these resources. Set the county resource max storage to equal whatever the player left it as. Okay. And then we go to here where it wants... So we're going to have to kind of change how this is. This is only going to happen once because there's only one list now. And the list is... what did I call this thing? It's a dictionary, but I called it a list like an asshole. Dictionary. So this should go into here. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. Here, I'll just type it in. This is going to be a storage. Can I just start typing dictionary? And will you be in here? I see it hidden right there. All right, that's the wrong thing, but we're going to put in this thing now. Jesus Christ. This should go in here. And this is going to be called storage HBox. HBox. And yeah, I mean that's another thing. Like if you do, so in the my grandparents, like my step grandparents, they were this is a for loop. They had like amazing pensions. Actually, my grandma on my other side too had amazing pensions. So her pension went up not like up a lot, but it went up. It kept with inflation and stuff. But like I have a 401k. It has to, the stock market has to be good, and I think the stock market's fake. Storage. I was like, why isn't this working? HBox. Like the stock market is bizarre. It's like a 10-year-old came up with the idea of a stock market. That sounds reliable. I didn't start making money that was, like where I could not live paycheck to paycheck until like 10 years ago. So that was at 40. And that was still just not, it wasn't paycheck to paycheck, but it wasn't like I had a great savings. I still I'm not paid amazingly. Let's see here. Yeah, in the wealth tax, there definitely needs to be a wealth tax. Like the U.S. is out of control with that. All our billionaires, the 8 people who own everything. So this is going through and setting the max amounts. I feel like this is backwards. The max amount spin box dot value, but we needed this to be a for loop. And It's kind of strange we're passing this in when I could just call the goddamn thing. For each. Why are you over there, buddy? There we go. For each. No. What has happened? For each storage HBox, storage HBox, and storage HBox as storage HBox as. Otherwise, that gets very strange there. Whoops. Enter. What is going on here? I have all sorts of issues because for each storage HBox and the storage HBoxes, the resource data max amount equals we're passing in this int. And what is your problem? Oh, this is, we gotta do a thing. That's not how you write this. It's gotta be like this. And then this is gonna be key value pair or whatever. Key value pair dot value. Doesn't like that though. How did I do it up here? Key value pair for each in resources. Oh, in storage H boxes. Maybe that's why this was a for loop, is there was some weird way to get around this weirdness. What do you think? This does not contain any definitions for resource data. This is going to be storage HBox is what this should be. County resource type storage HBox in storage HBoxes. The key is not what we want. Oh, wait. This isn't what we want anyways. This should be that. We're setting, oh, I see what we're doing here. I thought we were doing something else. Max amount spin box. Resource data does not contain the problem is this is wrong. This should be storage HBox. And this should be back to resource data. I don't know why we're going this direction though. Like it's setting the HBox. I'm like in the hole here because I've fucked up so much shit. Stock market is a Dutch invention. Were they 10 years old when they invented it? The people who invented it? So the thing that blows my mind with the stock market is that it's supposed to go up forever, and that's why I always think it's like a 10-year-old invented it. because that's what you think. Yeah, it will go forever, and that's impossible unless we keep expanding, and we've ran out of places to colonize is the problem. Um, Buy power not to make money, like tax dividends is not a good deal in my brain. And when you get the board meeting, it's like a different world from what I'm used to. What power do you get? You mean buying the stock to have power in the company? Is that what you mean? Or then you win if you have power in the company, then you have power in the world. That type of thing. All right, this is gonna be so fucked up still, but we gotta fix this. That one I should have just kept the two lists, but it was driving me crazy. So I've been just doing that. If it's driving me crazy, I'm gonna just fix it. So this is no longer called this though. This is called. This is the same exact thing we just did here. This is now called. See this one though. We don't need to do this. Update max value. I mean, we need to do it, but we need to do it in a different way. Could I have just done this in a completely set resource max value? I could have done this in a much easier way, I think. I could have. Because these are, oh my God. I just wrote this 5 seconds ago and then I could have done the same thing. But instead I went with this, whatever this is, this garbage. Um, and that's what I can do with here. I think we can get rid of, this is very, very, very in depth. I don't want to call my own code convolute. All right, it's convoluted garbage. It's trash code. I would do the joke like, who wrote this trash? But I've done that so many times. Um, all right, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me pause that you guys can't hear. Let me throw up my break timer and I'll be right back. All right. And when you get the board meetings like a different world, the only people I know that's good with stocks, buy them and get them as salary or bonus when they have enough to place themselves as CEO. So my stepdad worked for a bioengineer company, and a bunch of people were leaving the bioengineer company, and they said to form a new bioengineer company, and they said, "We want you to come with us, but we can't really pay you. We'll give you all this worthless stock, and one day it may be worth something." And that company got huge, and the stock was worth something after that. Um, so he got a bunch of stock. He didn't become a CEO or nothing, but he got a bunch of stock and money eventually because the company was successful. If it wasn't successful, he would have, that would have been a problem. But yeah, I totally. So we did this stupid thing. Why did I do it that way? Let me start my music that you guys can't hear. Um, yeah, so definitely through work is one way. When I worked at Kinko's, back to my 10 years at Kinko's, the copy place, it's not a coffee place. When I worked at Kinko's, when Paul Orfla, he's the guy who invented Kinko's, when he ran it, because I worked there for 5 years, and I worked other places, then I went back because I couldn't get a job. Um, when he ran it, you got stock, a little tiny bit of stock in the company, and it was put into your 401k, and you could transfer it over later. I think I sold it all when I transferred it out, when I pulled my 401k out, because I was broke. Uh, but yeah, you got a little bit of stock sharing, but yeah, it's interesting. So I can't remember the exact rule, but you can't day trade unless I think you have 30 grand into day trading, which is one of the most bizarre things I think with stock. It's a way to keep the little guy out. And I think that's extremely strange. That's you can't do it with $10. You got to have 30 grand. Um, it's like a fake thing. So set resource max values. We're doing this, and I think I could have done it easier, like kind of this same way. We have these county resource types, so we would just put the key. I mean, I guess, how are we doing this? This is wrong, I think. So we have this key value for storage. How are we doing this? So we have these storage H boxes where we need to assign the spin box value over here for some reason. I can't remember why. And I guess this worked. We'll leave that, but this doesn't need to be this update spin box max value. Wait, we're doing this first? I believe so. I believe the 30 grand thing. I should look it up because I've been thinking about it a lot. Day trading amount needed to trade. Oh, it's 2,500. 25,000, sorry. To allow you to day trade. So you need 25,000 in your brokerage account. Otherwise, you can't do it. And you only do like a trade every month or something like that. Well, that's how you get your 401k. There's no other way to get 401k. All right, so max value. This thing is strange. So this is like this is part of this. And I broke this into two things for perishables, but we don't actually need the perishable thing anymore. So this can kind of go away. We can just do this because it doesn't matter. There aren't the two lists. See all this extra work I had to do for the two lists? Jesus Christ. Oh, we do have a thing for this two thing actually. We have a different label. Current perishable available label. So we're taking this amount, we're adding on to the label, and we're putting this, and this gets the max value. Okay, so I guess we do need to do this, but there's probably an easier way. Um, yeah, isn't that strange? The amount that you can to be able to day trade. So you can still trade, but you just can't do it every day. Um, your regular savings will provide as a de facto private retirement account. Well, if you do a private, you can do that, but your company usually matches your 401k. Um, you can pay into it's kind of like an IRA or something, I think it's called. You can where's your own private thing, but your company usually matches some of your 401k. Like my company matches some of it. So like I put in whatever $100 and they match 20 of it. It's, up to $20. So I could just put in $20 and they would match. Well, it's a percentage, I think, so if I put in 100, they put in 20%. They match 20%. Um, so that is pretty crazy how that like besides the 25,000 like you're locked out of it, but you also just the fact that you can't so often we're living paycheck to paycheck, so you couldn't even mess with any extra money you had. Like if you had an extra $500, you can't put it anywhere because you might need it. And that's actually recently I was like, I have a little bit of money saved. I wonder if I should invest it. But then I worry, like, what happens if I suddenly need a new roof? I would be fucked. And especially if it was invested. Uh, I don't like how any of this is done. Set resource max value. I mean, we're going to leave that there. We'll probably bug out and we'll have to rewrite all of this. But okay, update spin box max value. If it's perishable, we're taking the perishable label and we're adding it in here. For each storage H box and storage H box, why is this allowing this to happen? Oh, it's not. Okay. So what we need to do is once again copy this thing over, but make sure we get the right one this time. This thing needs to go to here. And we only have one list. So this is gonna be called what? Storage. What did I call this thing? Storage HBox array, which is gonna be renamed here. 1 second. I'm gonna make this so I can see it all over here. We'll put it down like that. For each storage HBox in the array, we're doing some math. I feel like all of this math is very, very strange. 401k, I don't know how IRAs work that much because I don't have one. 401k, they take it out of your check pre-tax. So the more you pour in there, the less you get paid too, which is beneficial if you're hitting above that. If you get into the next tax bracket, that part's getting taxed more anyways. But if you were to take it out early, they apply that tax. You only can take it out when you're retired. You can take a loan off of it though, which my friend says is bad though because you get taxed taking in the loan and paying the money back in for the loan. But you pay the loan interest to yourself. Update max value. So for each one of these, we're gonna have to do that same thing we just did down here, wherever it went. It's up here actually. This key value thing. And we're gonna rename some of this stuff because it says arrays and things. In here, it's weird that so what am I doing? Wonder why I did it. There's probably a real reason to do this, but it seems like, I could just call this storage HBox instead of except it's not, and I don't want to get confused later. Let's rename this to storage hbox as again. Let's go with key value pair. Key value pair, and this should be the storage hbox. Max amount spin box is a thing in oh, we got to put value in here again. And then this is going to be storage hbox or key value pair value. Which is really weird. Then we're going to put this dictionary in here. And this is getting a different, if perishable. What are we passing in that's if perishable? Oh, I see what we got to do here. Okay, let's leave that there for a second. This should be, and maybe this is why I would put that weird perishable thing in, was for something like this, which is actually, I think is dumb. So I'm going to put this value dot resource data perishable. If this is perishable, then we pull from the perishable text the available label. No, this is just going to be this thing. And we'll put this back over here. We'll move this down here. What is your problem? An object reference is required. Current perishable available label, which is what we were passing in there. It doesn't like this thing, though. Is this thing set to something bizarre up here? It's just a private label. Current. It's kind of wrong that there's a universal retirement age, as if all work tired and wrecked you in the same way. That's how it works in the U.S. Probably varies by state. I think there's a federal retirement age. An object reference is required for the non-static method or property. Resource panel current. I've had this bug before, and it's always like something easy that I can fix, but I can't. I think it might be the export thing on there. I'm going to copy this, make sure that this is the right thing. We don't want this anymore. Oh, wait. No, yeah, this is the one. We don't want this anymore. An object reference is required. Plus for non-static, I think it's this is the problem. Oh, no. Oh, you think there should be a lower one for manual labor? How would you differentiate between the two? Like, how would you say that this person's white collar versus blue collar? And who would control that? I know this is an easy fix, but I can't, right now, I can't think of what is it the parse? We just want to bring in the value of this label, and it is the text label, current perishable available label. I know this is like a dumb thing. Let's get rid of the parse and see what it tells me. It's got to be parsed into. No, it's the same thing. We're just bringing in this. This can go here. And we don't need this perishable up here anymore because we're going to do it right here. So this is going to be that. This is going to be this. This is going to be this. KD. Oh, it's this stupid static thing. Whoops. It's a little too far there. I don't know if they were taking advantage. Could be. I would bet more it was just there's no way to. So that's always the problem. I often think of like, well, we should do this, and then it's like, but who watches the Watchmen type of thing? Who's making those decisions? And so, like, for example, I think that our school system is terrible, and there should be like a check on the textbooks to make sure that they're not teaching propaganda, because a lot of textbooks come out of Texas in the United States. But then it's like, who governs that? Because if you get the wrong people in there, it's going to all be governed by some person who wants the propaganda, especially now, you know? So what we need to do here is this same thing, but we need the other non-perishable label. So all of that and all of my confusion with this static thing, didn't I say yesterday that when I was adding these static, or maybe that was Wednesday, it would fuck me later? All right, so update county available storage. If perishable, total storage equals 0. For each storage in here, we need to do this differently. Update county, where are you getting called from? I know why I made that 2 lists. It's because it made all of this much easier to do. But the thing is, it's really screwing me down the line. I guess we're going to have to search for this. Where is this thing coming from? Value changed. Okay, so this is when you're clicking the button on the thing. I definitely like watching some of the history stuff. I wonder, like, I think I mentioned this before, where like I was watching some, like, why the Romans did this or whatever, and there was 2 different contradictory YouTube videos. The real reasons why the Romans did this, like, right next to each other, and I was like, God damn it! Like, do I have any rules in the channel? What do you be nice? It depends on what you mean. Oh, you mean like, can you post a link? You can post links. Okay, so this is update county available storage. That is being... when you change the value, this is, and then we have perishable coming in. And that's being triggered by probably an advanced thing. This is a weird version of that song. That's true too. Oh, like no political talk. You know, I think that you can't get away from politics. And there's no, like, to try to hide your head in the sand is not gonna work. I prefer, I'm trying to think of the right terminology, like non-angry Discord, non-angry. like open discussion, I guess. The problem is that so many people argue in bad faith, and I think that's like a huge problem with everything. Um, so I asked this guy at my work. He's a maintenance guy. He was a maintenance guy. He quit, but we were doing stuff, and he was saying he didn't get paid enough money for what we were doing, and I said you should unionize, and he said no, I don't like unions, and I said why don't you like unions? And he said I just don't like them. So like that type, so that you can't. You're okay. That's the end of that discussion. That's not in bad faith though. But if he had said, like a lot of times people will say, "Well, unions did this," or whatever, and it's they're gonna keep. They're not arguing to learn something new. I'm not a describe. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. Um, uh, like there's so many bad faith arguments that I can't even like. It's because I'm streaming and that I can't. None will come to the top of my head. But uh, like that type of argument is pointless. Like I could have gone into the reasons why I thought unions were good, but if he was just and I didn't want to argue at work. I'm at work too, and it's not the appropriate place to be arguing about politics. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times it's like people are going for gotcha stuff and whatnot. It's not like um, it's not a legitimate argument. It's just people trying to show clout or something. Um, $30 a month and they help a lot. Take many battles. So this is the thing. I used to be an interior exterior specialist, which is a union when I worked construction, and those guys sucked. It was a terrible union. And everything about it, they were racist. They were classist. The whole thing was terrible. Their carpenters is their real, like their short term thing. I hung drywall. Um, they were terrible, but that didn't make me think all unions sucked. It makes me think that the Oregon chapter of the interior exterior specialists sucked, and that's the difference. Cronyism was rampant there, fucking rampant. Um, but once again, it didn't make me say, "Oh, all unions suck." It just made me think that there needed to be massive changes, and it actually may have changed since then. Um, Update max values. Where I got sidetracked rambling again. Update county available storage. So this is updating the actual county data. Update county. No, it's just updating the one we're clicked on. And this needs, we no longer have that list. We need to go through each, which this actually is not going to be that bad, I don't think. So this is on the county data level though. And I can't remember at this point. This is also a thing. So let's copy this over while I'm here. And then let's go over to here. For each one of these, key value pair in county data. Joker, how's it going? And then what did I call that? Resources. And then we're going to do this. I got 2 of these now. I just need this bottom one actually. Okay, so for each one of those, we're passing in something. Oh, we need this bool can go away. This bool is pointless now. Cannot convert type to resource data. Resource data. Resource county type. I'm missing something silly again. resource type, county resource type. Godot collection dictionary. I just did one right here. Oh, I'm doing it wrong again. Is this the same? This isn't the same, but it's close enough. We can do this. There we go. Well, so that's one of the problems is the Oregon chapter of the Interior Exterior Specialists it was very weak, and it was very corrupt too. This guy used to come on site. He was one of the upper ups for the union. He had a hard hat that was shaped like a cowboy hat. Fucking piece of shit. He was always dressed really nice in cowboy gear, and he would come on and like be inspecting if make sure that things were no one's breaking any union rules, and but he didn't give a shit about that at all. He just wanted to come and show off his nice duds and his cronyism. People would go suck up to him. And I don't think that guy had worked a day of labor in his life. Probably, no, let me take that back. Probably until he was like 30, and then his daddy got him a job at the union. And he was like, oh, yeah. There's probably someone who's like, that's the best union in the world. We're back to cheese again? We're talking about the Tillamook cheese. Oh, you're eating a grilled cheese. Oh, man, that sounds good. Okay, so we need to update this county storage. What are we doing here? I've been totally sidetracked. I just keep talking and yammering. For each... Okay, so we just go through each one, but we need to add it to the correct thing. So if the key value pair value perishable, we don't need to add the true in there, equals true thing. If this is, then we're going to add this. Man, I did so much work on this. I'm just taking it all apart. I'm just getting rid of all of it. And this is going to be key value pair value, but with a capital V. Oh, wait. We need to pull this off the spin box? Really? It's adding in this total amount off the spin box. All right, so we need to do this differently. We're not pulling it from the county resources for each H box. Okay, all right. This is almost identical to that other thing then, which is right here. Let's just copy this whole. We're doing this again. We can't combine some of these for each things, man. It seems like there should be an easier way to do this. Yeah, I didn't even know that there was cowboy shaped head or hard hats that were cowboy hat shaped until I saw that guy. Okay, so we're passing that in here, but why are we passing this in? Shouldn't it just be sitting right up here? Didn't I make this? I mean, it's long and ugly, but where's my bugs here? Oh, we can fit it there. So then if the value is perishable, once again, I don't know why I didn't just do resource data.perishable and I would like to not have done that what I did in the past. Then we're going to add in the max spin box value. If the resource is perishable, sorry, if the resource that's attached to this to the storage H box, we'll do that. And then what is our next thing here? Then we're copying this. Okay, I see what we're doing here. This is after the for each loop. So this is going to go here, but then there's going to be this else here. No, sorry, this else here. And then this total used storage, total available storage. I think this is going to not work right. Then we're going to do the same. No, we're still in here. We just need this. Why did I call it total available, total used? Man, this is some convoluted code. So this is going through every H box. If it's perishable, it's adding it to the total used storage, because before we were asking it just straight up. So there needs to be total used storage, because that thing was before, it was like I wonder why I called it this too. Like, it's so confusing with how I named everything. Current non-perishable available. Yeah, so this is the important part. So if it's perishable, it adds this. Except we're doing some weird math to it too. Oh, I think I already have this in here. No, I don't. Total available minus total used. Total available storage. I'm going to compare this. This is some strange shit. What am I looking at? Resource panel container. Where was I looking at? We're looking at update county available storage. And in reality, I probably should just be like going through each line like I was, or going through each method and just rewriting without looking at the old shit. Update county available storage. Look at how different the lines are. So what does this do? We pass in a thing called perishable. And if it's perishable, total available storage equals that stuff. And the current perishable label equals that. County, and so for each one of those that's perishable, we're adding in the max. Okay. All right. So this needs to be, if it's here, we need, so this is why this is confusing, is because before it was just hitting certain stuff. I'm surprised that even ever worked. All right. So if the resource is perishable, we want to have it an int called total used perishable storage. And then we're going to go, this is going to replace this. Whoops. This is going to replace this. And then this is getting the spin box value total used, and then this total available is used in an enclosed. Okay, well, that's fine. Then this is after that, though. After it does, this has to be at the very bottom. Total available perishable storage. And this is going to be adding in, or whatever it's doing, total used perishable. Perishable. That's not going to work. We're going to have to move that storage. This needs to be up here. 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 It's going to be somewhere. Okay. So it's going to go through each one of these. And if it's perishable, it's going to add it to the total used perishable storage. And then this should be down here. And this should be this. And then we're not done yet. Okay. KD. All right. And then for this, we don't need to for each this shit anymore. This should be total used non-perishable. It's like I traded one problem perishable for another problem that was equally as annoying. I think it will be better in the long run. This needs to be up here. We can KD this thing. And this is going to be total used non-perishable storage plus equals this thing. I don't know why we're doing max whatever. That thing. And then after that, get out of here. Get the finger. Why are you a finger? Stop being a finger. This can go away. Then down here, we'll do this thing where we go and total available non-perishable storage. This is not going to work. Come on, give me a break. This is going to go to here. Non-perishable storage. And then this is going to update here as well. But this is going to be non-perishable. Whoops. Current non-perishable. And this should be capital N. Okay. And then what is this garbage? Is there anything we're missing? No. This garbage can be deleted. I might have deleted too much. No, we're fine. What is this crap? Okay, I think I just wrote this like 2 days ago, and it's already outdated and trash. Update resource labels. County name title label dot text equals that. Okay, update resource of type. Update each type of resource. I think that is what's happening. And then once we get everything, yeah, exactly. The exact thing that you said. Once we get everything fixed, we're going to go back and then we're going to change everything again and then go back and change everything again and then go back. And we'll just never get out of this loop. We'll be in this loop forever. So when I said years, I meant heat death of the universe before we're done with this. Okay, what the fuck am I doing here? Update each type of resource. See, this is where there's that weird index. All right, so this one, update resource labels. So these labels need to be updated. Oh, look at this. This is wrong, named wrong. Why are we doing this though this way? Update each so this is the thing. It thinks that we just need to put in that other thing, whatever we call that. Um, Bench, thank you for the follow. Um, we need this thing, and I typed in the word dictionary because it has dictionary in its word. I see it hiding down here. So the thing, the thing I don't quite understand that I'm doing here is this is already assigned over to this thing. This storage HBox, we already assigned the data, I thought, earlier. Here's that dumb perishable thing too. I thought maybe we're doing it again because it gets changed each time you open it and depending on the county and whatnot. um, but we don't need to do it this way. This thing we do need to have. So we need to know the resource. But the H boxes are... So for each key value pair, I guess we're going to reassign these. This makes sense. And that makes sense to a point. That makes sense. So we're going to go through... Should we go through each resource or each spin box? I think we should go through each spin box, actually. Because we're updating the spin boxes. We're not updating the resource. Update each type of resource. We're actually updating each spin box with their resource. Update each... no. Updates each spin box. They're not even spin boxes, they're H boxes. H box with resource. That's what we're doing here. And we can do this much differently. That I think is going to be better. I'm hoping, Lord Mac, with each loop, there'll be less code. That, you know, I'm hoping. So what we'll do is we'll put this here. And then this will be in resources. No. This will be in HBox dictionary thing. So what did I call this? Resources store. It's right here. It's this thing. And now that I'm like changing more things, it's probably going to be worse. Why don't you like this? This is a resource county type storage HBox. An object reference is required for the... Oh my god, is this thing static? You son of a bitch. There we go. All right, so it's going to go through each HBox, but with the HBox key value is already equals... It's the same value as the resource in the county. Which is kind of what we were doing over here. Resource HBox, we're not passing in, update each, we're passing in this resource. Where is this? Okay, and it is the county resource. Okay. So we're passing in these resources. So this should be, what we should be able to do is be like, it's the same thing I did earlier. which is why I'm kind of surprised we're doing this twice. But there's I feel that there's a reason for it. We need key value pair dot key, and then it's going to equal resource. What did I call this? Resources key value pair. We're getting here. Key. And then this is going to be resource data equals resource data. I mean, no, it's that. That's what that is. I hope I'm not wasting my time either. It could be update each type of resource with I. Fuck you with I. We're going to do this instead. We're going to do this, and we're going to just put a name here. And then, see, I'm just going to get rid of this perishable thing. I think it's dumb. And I'm just going to get rid of this because I think it's dumb. And then this is what we really need to be updating for most of these things. So we're going to just go like this and put this right here, and this right here, and this right here. And the thing is, we just assign the data over there. I mean, we could be using itself. We could put like this. I don't know why we would keep this why. So I always think it's weird, and maybe it's this. There's a better. I don't know what the thing is. The way you're supposed to do stuff. There's a term that I cannot think of right now. But I always think it's weird that if you're assigning something higher up to keep using that later down the thing. Like I've assigned it up here. Shouldn't I be using this thing for the rest of it? The programming instrument. It's like the method the best method. And then we're gonna put this. I should just include this period here. Oh well, now I don't need the period. And I'm not sure why we're checking this perishable thing here. Oh, because we're pulling from the different, yeah. And then this goes to here. See, I copied the period and I don't need it. I need it here though. Okay. That was a lot of changes. Update county available storage. It takes one argument. It takes nothing. And then we're still passing in this perishable thing. I don't believe that that's true. We're passing in this. Why would we do that? How about that? Maybe this happens before? I'm just going to get rid of this too. Fuck it. I don't think we're using this. Yeah, get rid of this thing too. Let the chips fall where they may. Let the garbage fall where they may. Aha. Now we have issues. Generate storage H boxes. Yeah, I just deleted this because I didn't like it. So this is where it's instantiating these things. So I think what we should be doing here, instead of this, is we should be going like this. And then go like this. I wonder if I put perishable in there first, and then later I was like, oh, we're gonna need the resource data, and I was still using it. Because that's like a duplicate variable that we would have to be keeping track of and like changing. It doesn't change, but I guess we could make it like static or something. But it would be another variable that we'd have to keep track of, and I don't know shit about programming, but I know that keeping track of two things that are the same in different places seems like a dumb thing to do. We'll deal with whatever that thing is later. It's already been 3 hours. It's already 1 p.m. All we did is talk about workers or workers' rights. I don't know what we did. All right, so we got issues still here. I'm gonna look at what this is. Maybe I can fix what this is. The key was not present in the dictionary. Copy. There's just something somewhere that's fucked up. I guess that's 60. I guess that's not a very descriptive term. 60. The key was not in property. And cheese, the Tillamook cheese. Man, it makes me want to get ice cream. The key was not. Let's get key. The given key was not present in the dictionary. So we have resource type in this. For each key, key value pair value, which is going to be the resource in resources. What does this thing say? This is strange. Well, let's just get rid of it. That's that strange thing. Oh, was that the thing it was actually that I just deleted? I think that was the thing that I deleted where it's not there. I spent so much time on this storage thing. I remember it took me forever to get this to work. So I'm having a feeling that it's going to take me forever to get it back to working with one list. But I should have done one list in the first place. This is the same error. It is. It is. Maybe the second time it will be faster. We're still on 60. Resource storage HBox dictionary. It doesn't exist. This assigns the county's resources to the storage HBox when it becomes visible. Okay, so this should have already happened. Generate the storage HBoxes. It's adding them to the siblings. But you know what's a big thing that's missing here? Is they're not getting added to this list, to this dictionary. We added the siblings and whatnot, but we didn't add them to this dictionary. Add, however the hell I add this county type. We added the, what is this, a dictionary? This thing needs to be added in here. This needs to be here, but we also need this here, and then we need to go resource data county resource type comma, and then we need to do this. Okay, so we never added that. I don't think we ever added it. Let's just search for this to see if we added anything. We sure use that a lot to never add anything to the list. There's going to be a bug that's going to come up that I added. Each county improvement now has a list of people that work there, and I've already used that list in places, but I haven't ever added anyone to the list. I haven't gotten to that part of the code yet. I know when that happens, I'm going to be like, why is this not working? And it's going to be like the same thing where there's nobody on the list. Okay, so this sort of worked. Max perishable storage is 3,000. It's counting all of this, right? This one, it's not. So not in this. See, I should have also. Why is this at the bottom? Oh, they're in reverse order. They're not alphabetical. They're in. It's instantiates the sibling, and then it goes to the next one and instantiates the sibling. So it puts it next to it. Yeah. So this one's off. This one. So I knew that when I added a third one. Yeah, this one's off. This one's right. But this is probably adding in like these ones to both of them. But this one's wrong, yeah. This is the 3,000 is. It should be 2,000. Combined perishable. This should be 3,000 because there's 3,000 available. This should be 2,000 though. This is wrong. This one's right. I bet you this is pulling each one of these. But if so, adding sibling isn't going to work. Maybe I should make that more clear, that what this is. This is the available, but maybe it should be used instead of no. It's good to get feedback like that, because it right off the bat that looks wrong to the two people who've looked at it. One, it looks wrong to 50% of the people who've looked at it. It looks wrong to them. So maybe I should put used. I had available up here, but maybe I should put used. It'd be fucking easier to get it. Because then we can just add these all together and just stick them. Right now I'm like adding these. It's not that much harder. Adding these together and subtracting from 5,000. You know what could be going wrong over here though too is it's supposed to take the. I bet there's a couple of things that could be going wrong. So let's do this because I'm going to call it a day here and I'm going to forget what I'm doing. I don't know where this is being added. So let's go away. I want to add in here. Maybe. Well, now I'm thinking about something, which isn't bad. No, I think that'd be too confusing. I was thinking maybe used and then available to the right. But I remembered I played that game. God, what is it called? Rise to Ruin has something like that where this other number goes down while the other one rises. And I found it extremely, not frustrating, but confusing, where it'd be like, why does it now say 50? And yeah, so the available would go down. It would show the available instead of the total. Total available. Max perishable storage available is 3,000. I think you're right. I think it should be used. It should say max storage used, because the slash is and you're just going to count up to that number. So let's add that into my thing here. Max available storage should be max used storage. So it is like 500 used of 5,000. Let's do that. That'll be an easy fix while we're here. Yeah, the Rise to Ruin one is definitely made, like, because I understand what he was going for, because you could make buildings to expand your storage as well. And so he was going for, like, you could see how much it was growing and whatnot. But if you just had the total over there, it would have been a lot easier. And so I think this would lead to that same issue without that change. So there's that issue. And then, well, there's obviously the math is wrong here. Oh, we got to put in also this. So I can't do add sibling is the problem with that. But that's not the end of the world. Add sibling doesn't work for the H boxes. Just put like another HV box or some shit and drop in there. All right. They come out in reverse. And I used add sibling in another thing, and I fucked around with it a bunch, and it ended up working how I wanted it to in the long run, but it wasn't for a while, and so I thought of like 7 different ways to do it without adding siblings. And so I already was like, oh yeah, if I just put a V box and blah blah blah. So that's it. I'll just put a V box in there. This is adding sibling makes them come out reverse alphabetical. Okay. And convert into an issue. I'm just trying to keep the notes of where I'm at. Well, that's not good. But that's because I never got even back to that part. Oh, look, this is bugging out now because there's no next activity, which is fine. I just deleted it, right? Who cares? Get that next activity. Look at this next construction. This is all stupid. This is all going to go away. Okay, I was hoping to get a little farther with the other part, but I was very skeptical that I would. And I hope that I'm not going to have to put this list back into 2 lists. The whole reason I wanted 2 lists is I was worried it would take a while, but to look through those lists all the time. But it's whatever. So I think that's all the notes I need. Let's push this code to, like we've been on this for a while, to had to fix some storage issues before continuing on with population AI. All right. That's it. Everything's been pushed. Everything's ready to go. Thank you guys for joining me in good conversation. I like talking about stuff like that. I wish I could think of the disingenuous arguments. I wish I could have at the time. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, where someone's just arguing in bad faith. But that's it for me. I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good existence. And yeah, bye.